How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. It has been a while since I've said that. I've been in Japan, in case you're out of the loop and you don't watch the other videos, I've been in Japan for like 26 days, and then I came back on the Thursday, which kind of matched up perfectly because usually my weekly recaps were from Thursday to Thursday. So coming back on the Thursday meant I could just wait like a full week and then do it again. And then today is Friday, so I was supposed to upload it this morning because I usually film Thursday and upload Friday. But yesterday I was outside all day, so I didn't get to film, so now I'm filming it late on Friday night. It's already 10 p.m. because I actually forgot I needed to film. So basically I'm a lost cause, but you guys already knew that. Also, it's like super warm. I'm like hella sweaty. I came back from Japan, I hit Hong Kong, and I just went, okay, it's hot and humid. So yeah, for the next like 2-3 months, you're going to hear me complain about it being hot. So get used to that. Anyway, we're just going to get right into it. So I think before I left, I said to you guys that I would do, by the way, this is month number 8, week 33. I would do like the last couple of days before I left for Japan, I would put them in this video. And then after that, we're going to continue the week that has passed now since coming home from Japan, okay? So that's how we're doing it. It's a little confusing, but yeah, it works, alright? Also, if I look tired, it's because I am. I'm dumb for filming this so late. Anyway, 16th of March, I woke up at 7, I was really tired. I don't get sleep, but yeah. I took the kid to school, and then I met up with my friend at Hohai, which is a place I want to film a video, but I don't actually know how much interesting stuff is that Hohai. I don't think there's much, but yeah, I met up with like 3 different people. One girl from Finland I'd never met, and she was cool. And then yeah, we chilled there, and then we went. What did we do? Wait. Oh yeah, then Also, I just wrote like a funny note. Walking out of the apartment complex, these girls from the apartment complex were like, "Hey," and they know my name, and I'm like, "Yep, sure." So that's pretty funny. And the day before that, the milk tea lady that I go and buy milk tea from, like, she was riding to work on her bike, and she was like awesome. She was like hella smiling. So like, I know people in the area. I guess I am known as the weird foreigner. I took an hour to get there because it's far away. Everything is far away from where I live. And then we went to this bullet building. I don't know how to explain, but it was under construction, and we were too close to it. I don't know where you need to go if you want to get good photos of it, but wherever we were was not the right one. So there you go. Then we headed to my friend's host kid's school to pick up her kid for lunch and bring her home. And yeah, we did that, and then we went for lunch at Chigomiao. I'm trying to just speed through this because I want to get to what's actually happened. This is like a month old, but people still care, right? Maybe? I don't know. Anywho. Yeah, we had these like cheap pancakes that were kind of spicy. It was okay. It's like whatever. And we had milk tea where I paid 20 for a normal milk tea, which is fucking dumb. I think it was supposed to cost like 12, and I don't know why I paid 20, but I couldn't really argue. I was like, the fuck? But yeah, they didn't give me change, so I was confused. Then we chilled at the tea place. It was royal tea, by the way. And then I convinced everyone that it was a great idea to go outside, because at this point it was hot, but not too hot. And then, I'm sorry I'm shaking the camera. Then we went to this really nice park, and we just sat there at the lake, and chilled and talked for like a few hours. And then I headed home. And yeah, it was the last time I would see my friends before heading to Japan, so I was like happy to hang out with them for some hours. And then, yeah, I wrote that I'm like kind of sad, but like, yeah, I was kind of sad, but I was super happy about not going to Denmark afterwards. I'm so happy, and I could say that again, like, arriving in China, I was so happy. Like, I'm so happy to be back. I would have been sad if I went to Denmark. So, yeah, very, very happy to be back, alright? Anyway, got home, and then waited outside his school. Went home, we had dinner, he took forever to eat. After dinner we didn't do much. He was obnoxious and cried. And then he couldn't do his homework or eat, and he was just useless. And then he did, like, I dragged him to do his homework, and he cried, and he was obnoxious, crying for his mom. He was just being obnoxious. And then his mum came to me. I remember this because it's like a month ago. I don't remember anything, but I remember this part. The mum comes over to me and she goes, "Is he finished?" I'm like, "He hasn't even started." Like, Jesus, he's a lost cause, you know. But no. The parents enjoy watching us do homework. They're like, "Oh, he's learning and he's doing stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes he is. Sometimes he's just being useless." But yeah. And then, oh my god, this was so nice. The parents gave me so many Chinese snacks, like, because I asked the and then nanny like, "Hey, where do I buy tea?" And then she was like, "Oh, I'll ask mum." And then the mum was like, "Oh, what tea do you want?" I was like, "I don't know, just tea." And then she's like, "Okay, I'll buy for you." Then she bought me way too much tea, like two of these like big tea things, along with like a huge like just plastic bag of tea. And then she also gave me all of these Chinese snacks, and I was like, Jesus, like thank you, that's too much. Also, when I went through immigration in Japan, it was like they wanted to open my suitcase. I was like, okay. They open it, and the entire top layer is just Chinese candy, and the lady is just like, the fuck? I'm like, I'm a tourist. She's like, and then she like started to go through my bag, and she just finds this like clear plastic bag filled with black stuff, and she's just like, the fuck is this? I'm like, it's tea, and she's like, okay, sure, like sure, you're an idiot. And I'm like, I know, but yeah, I got so much stuff, and then yeah, but yeah, it was all for my mum and my grandmother. So there you go. Then at 8 p.m. the parents randomly decided we go outside, which I was like, okay, and then we all walked out, and they walked in their pajamas, and I was like, I want to do that, like. I want to get to a level where I just don't give a fuck and I can walk around outside in pajamas. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we walked around. The baby was happy. I was holding him, and Ricky was running around, and I was like, sure. And then we ran into some kids that wanted to speak to me, and then we got home at like 9, and I went out and got bubble tea because last time I would get it before going to Japan. Oh, I ordered it. I can order bubble tea in Chinese now, so I'm an expert basically. My teacher helped me, so now I can order it in Chinese. Because normal chain stores, it doesn't matter. You just point to the one you want, and usually it's even in English. But where I live, there are no chain stores. It's all like tea houses, like not chains. And they don't have any pictures or anything. It's just all in Chinese. So you have to be able to order it. So yeah. And then I chilled in my room and got shit done. Alright. So that was the 16th of March. 17th of March. I woke up at 8:50, oh no, this was on the Saturday, so Ricky woke me up, and then I was like, yeah, what, and then his dad was yelling at me, because his dad, not yelling at me, yelling to me, sorry, because the dad was going to work, so he needed me to watch him, so that's why I was woken up, I guess. I ate noodles for breakfast, took Ricky outside for 2 hours, he ran around and played with all the other kids. And then we had lunch at 12, and then after lunch I headed to the supermarket to buy snacks for the airplane for Japan because I didn't get dinner on the plane. I ate Snickers. But honestly, that airplane was bullshit. They wanted me to pay extra for my luggage, which I had to do because luggage. Then they wanted me to pay extra for food. I'm like, fuck off. I can go for like 4 hours without... Well, I apparently couldn't because I ate Snickers, but come on. Anyway. At the supermarket, there was some cashier that said a shit ton of stuff in English and then laughed at me, and I was like, okay. Oh, this is a funny story. Oh, I haven't said this one. Okay. This story is like a month old, but yeah. I went to the hairdresser to get a haircut because I thought like, oh, I'll look good for Japan or something. Sure. Yeah, I got a haircut. Not really, it's a month old. But, yeah, I got to the haircut place. That's not what you call it, but yeah. And it took an hour. And haircuts take like a long time, and they put so much effort in, and it's so cheap. I was like, how much is in there? Like 40. I was like, okay. And I went the same place that we went last time with my host family, and then at one point they were giving me like a head massage, and because sometimes they just like, move your head. So they were like this, and I was like, do I move my head? And they're like, no, it's head massage. I was like, okay, sure. I had zero clue what was going on. And then, yeah, also just getting my hair cut. It was kind of shit to begin with. Now I think it looks alright. But at the start, it was kind of like... I just said I wanted it shorter in general, and I don't even know what happened. But something happened. Then at one point, I was in the chair, and then the guy that talked to the host dad last time came up to me. And he said something along the lines of, like, Tian, your boss. And I was just like, yeah, sure. and then he said some other stuff, and he said I was from Denmark to one of the like ladies cutting my hair, but I didn't, understand anything except a bit. But yeah, and then I was like, yeah, sure, I'm the boss and whatever. And then I go to pay, and then he goes, no, your father, you're VIP, and I was like, sure, okay. So I can get free haircuts in China now, so that's a neat perk, I suppose. And the place I go to, they're all like super nice. There's like, yeah, a bunch of people. There's way too many people working there, I feel like. But I don't know, every place you go to in China, there's just so many people at work. Also, just like a 7-Eleven will have like so many. There's a lot of people employed. But yeah. Okay, so then I headed to the tea house with the nice milk tea lady, the one that like said hi to me when she was on her bike to work. Because I go to two. There's the nice milk tea lady, and then there's the other one on the other side of the street, which has like this guy, and the milk tea there is like way sweeter. It's different. It's different to all the other milk teas I've had in China. But so yeah, I sort of switch between the two, especially if I order two in the same day. I take one each place. But yeah. And yeah, there was a nice guy with his kid, and he asked me some stuff. And I didn't really understand anything because my Chinese is bad, but the lady behind him translated a bit. And yeah, he just asked me like what I was doing in China, my country, and then he complimented my haircut, and yeah, just nice guy, really. He asked if I was, I don't know why, but he kept asking if I was from France. I was like, no, like, why do I look French? What the fuck? Yeah, I got my milk tea, headed home. Ricky was awake, but I still was in my room and just relaxed till 3 p.m. because that's my schedule. Came down and Ricky and I started watching Pokemon, which I don't know why, but like the nanny had never seen Pokemon. I was like, what? It was because she opened some biscuits, and that's what like triggered me to like start watching Pokemon. But she'd never watched it before. I was like, what the fuck? How have you never watched it, never seen it? I was like, how do you not know who Pikachu is? Like, what? Watched 2 episodes, and then my mum and grandmother wanted to talk, so I talked to them for like an hour. Then we fucked around more until dinner, and I said I would watch more Pokemon with him if he wasn't naughty, and then during dinner he just like went full retard, and it was like, alright, well, we're not watching more Pokemon, I guess. I don't know why it's so hard for him to eat. Alright, there you go. Normal people would edit that out, but that's not happening, right? After dinner we did nothing interesting, just walked around doing nothing. I was super tired and done, and Ricky was also tired, I think. Or at least during dinner he was. He was obnoxious and tired and wouldn't eat. He took a shower early and got put to bed early, and yeah. Then he wouldn't sleep. And then at 8:50 I went to the bathroom, and then he came out, and he had gone to his mother's room. And I put him back in his bed, and then he had a cry, and then the nanny took over. That was basically it. And then yeah, I continued editing the Hong Kong video in my room, which I've still not finished, and it's really fucking embarrassing, and it's actually angering me. I think today I had today I hung out with friends too long, like if I'd gone home earlier maybe, and then when I did get home, I spent like 2 hours, I did a bit of, but like almost nothing. I wasted time, and I feel, time is so fucking valuable right now, I feel like, so when I waste it, I feel really, really upset. But the Hong Kong video will come out soon. It's almost edited, like, there's like a bit more. It's like the ending part. It's gonna take a while. I hate myself. Alright. Anyway. 18th to 19th of March. I didn't write down what I did these days, so I don't really remember it. But I remember that his parents were super busy at work, and I remember we were supposed to go to the big, like this huge zoo in Guangzhou, but that didn't happen because they were busy at work. They had like a client over from some other province. And then I remember the host mum giving me all the tea and cake, because she gave me some stuff one day, and then on the last day, which was the 19th of March, before I left for Japan, she came to my room like late at night, and she was like, hello, are you awake? I was like, yes, and then she gave me like all the stuff, so yeah. And yeah, we just played around, and I showed him Pokemon. That was like what I remember from those 2 days, okay? Alright, so now, we're at the part where we are back from Japan. I should write that here. So back from Japan, it is the 12th of April. Back from Japan. It is the 12th of April, and everything is beautiful. So I woke up at 9 a.m. in Hong Kong, and I didn't really want to wait. I actually wanted to sleep in. I slept in. Basically, what happened was, okay, this is. I thought that I would have to go through the normal visa process in Hong Kong, which basically involves having to be at this visa place before like 12, like being there early, and then staying around in Hong Kong, and then going home at 6 p.m. So I thought I would have to be there during the day, and I didn't want to waste like a day and a half in Hong Kong. So I made my plane ticket arrive as late in Hong Kong as possible, because then I would arrive, and then the next day I would do the visa stuff. So I arrived at like 11 p.m. in Hong Kong, right? And then I had an Airbnb that which was fucking expensive for one night. But Hong Kong is expensive. There's nothing to do. And then, yeah, I thought I would do the visa thing the next day. What ended up happening was the agency told me to apply for a Chinese visa in Japan, which I ended up doing. And I'm happy about it because I got a 3-month visa now, which is hard to get if you're inside China. Like, getting that in Hong Kong is actually difficult. Some people stay like a week in Hong Kong, get stuck there and stuff. So I'm really happy and fortunate I got the visa. But yeah, so it ended up with me being, like, arriving in Hong Kong at 11, and technically I could have gone home, although I suppose I would have arrived really late in China. I don't know. I stayed overnight in Hong Kong, alright, from the 11th. And then I woke up at 9 a.m. I don't know, am I talking really fast? I can't tell, whatever. And I was super tired. I got out of bed. I said hi to this other person because I just had a room in an Airbnb, and there was a guy and his wife, and the guy was from Wales, and the lady was from Hong Kong, and they were moving to Hong Kong, and yeah, they're pretty nice. Whatever. I showered and then left Hong Kong. I tried to take this like bus that was supposed to go through the borders, but it was like more expensive and didn't really seem worth it. And also, I'm just more comfortable taking the metro, even if it's less convenient. I don't know. So I took the metro. It took me like a year and a half, but not really. It was so sad. Basically, Hong Kong airport is like on the other side of Hong Kong, where it's very green and nature and there's mountains. And also the metro is above ground, so when you're driving, you can look out the window and you can see all of like the green and the mountains. And on the day, it was really sunny weather, so it was so sad. I was just seeing Hong Kong. I was like, I'm gonna miss it so much, because Hong Kong is really beautiful. I like the dense architecture, the like kind of gritty buildings. I like the mountains, the water. Like, there's a lot to like about Hong Kong, and it's gonna be like a while before I come back, you know. So yeah, but I said goodbye to Hong Kong. Also, when I got home from Hong Kong, I went through the Fujian border, which I've filmed in one of my videos, but that video hasn't come out yet. But basically, you walk across this bridge from Shenzhen to Hong Kong. You literally walk to Hong Kong on this bridge, and the bridge, there's windows on both sides, so you can see that you're crossing the water and like crossing into Hong Kong. And yeah, so I said goodbye from there. I was like, oh, goodbye Hong Kong. But yeah. And then I went and met the others at the agency. I met a new girl I haven't met before from Holland. And yeah, chilled at the agency for a while. I bought bubble tea again. It was like the first thing I did back in China. I went to the bubble tea place, and then the pancake guy talked to me, and I was like, I wrote on my translation app, because he saw my luggage. I was like, I'm back from Japan. He's like, oh, and then he said something. I was like, I don't know. And then they laughed at me. I was like, fuck, I wish I could speak. My bad. But yeah, very friendly. The pancake guy's cool. And then I got to the agency, said hi to all the teachers and whatnot, and the girl. And we chilled at the agency, and then I left, and then we left, and then we went to Children's Palace and sat outside and talked and chilled. And then some guy came up to us that was like relatively old, like maybe 40, and then he spoke like really good English, and we're like, what the fuck, why do you speak good English? And he's like, oh, well, it's my hobby. And I'm like, okay, like, he just came up to us because we were white, and he's like, I guess he wanted to practice his English, and he was pretty good. Like, he had good English. We could understand everything he was saying. And then he talked about, like, I don't know, German microchips or something. What else? Eventually I headed home, and there was another guy that was like, it's so awkward. People stare at, like, I enjoy the staring because it's good, like, whatever. Because, like, when kids stare at you, it's like, yeah, okay, they're friendly. I say hello and they get happy. When, like, adults my age stare at me, it's kind of like, I can never tell, like, if a girl's staring at me, I can't tell if it's, like, a positive thing or a negative. Same with, like, guys. Like, on this time, it was like some random guy like sort of smiling to me, and then I was like, hello, and he's like I don't know, I can't tell. People stare at me, and also old people. Those are the hardest to read, because old people will like give you this really evil look, like, and then you say like, ni hao, you're just like, and then they light up, they like smile so much. So yeah, people don't stare at you in like a malicious way. They're all just like curious and really nice. But still, like half the time I can't tell like what, like if they're staring at me in a good way or what. But yeah. And then I walked home from the metro, and some guy was like, "Oh, welcome to China," because he saw my luggage. I was like, "Oh, that's so nice." So yeah, as mentioned 20 million times, everyone in China is so fucking nice. I used to think Japanese people were like the nicest, but like no, I think Chinese are nicer. Mostly because in Japan there's so many tourists, so they don't really give a shit. And also Japan is more busy. Like Shenzhen is pretty busy. Hong Kong is even worse. Like I prefer Hangzhou, but like it's not as busy as like Japan. Japan is crazy, and like when I say Japan, by the way, I mean Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo, because those are the only places I've been. I should clarify. But yeah, they sort of just like walk. They're very like goal. I'm going here. And then yeah, I don't know. I think Chinese people are nice. Also, I guess since I stand out more people are like hello, and they want to talk to me, and you know. But yeah, people are very, very, very nice. And I was so happy to be back. Like I was so happy when I was crossing the border and stuff. It was awesome. Really, really happy to be back in China, to be honest. Um, what did I say? Oh my god, in the customs, I almost got deported. The guy asks me, like, he looks at my student visa and he goes, "What school do you go to?" And I was like, yeah, And also my passport looks sketch as fuck because there's like 7 different visas in it. So it's like really sketchy, but whatever. Great to be home. It's too warm, like my sweaty hair can tell you, but yeah. And there's just, I don't know, there's a great atmosphere about China. I love it here. And then, yeah, when I got home, it was the uncle who opened the door, and he was kind of like, And then he looked like pretty happy. And then the grandmother was there for some reason, which I know now it's because she was having surgery, but I didn't know that then. Because she lives in like Maoming, 5 hours away. But she like hella smiled. She was like, "Hey!" And I was like, "Hey!" And then it's so dumb. I was standing there, just getting in the door, and I was kind of like sweaty, and I was like chilling. I was really sweaty. And then she comes up to me and she gives me a glass of water. I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then it's warm water because that's China, and I'm just like, it's 30 degrees, and I'm like literally dripping sweat, and you give me warm water. But yeah, super nice. And then father was also, everyone was home. The father was home, and he was happy to see me. And yeah, it's such a shame. And then also the mum was also home. And the mum kept smiling. Like, she did not stop smiling the whole time. She was smiling so much and so happy, and it was like, it was amazing. It's such a shame that there's this language barrier, because like, I'd love to just be able to tell them, "Oh, Japan was amazing, like this, and like, but I can't really do much. Like, we can't talk much. But I don't know. It's not that big a deal. Like, it kind of sucks that you can't get closer, but like, I mean, the smiles tell the whole story. You know, like I can obviously tell they're happy. They obviously know that when I'm happy, like, you know, it's good. I just wish that like I could get more like conversation. And I do actually try like translation, tell them stuff at once in a while, but and both the aunties were super happy to have me back. They woke up the baby, and then the baby like instantly wanted me to lift him up, and then he was on my shoulder, and I was just like, "You don't want to be there. That is like a sweaty place." Yeah, I unpacked, took a shower, talked to the baby, and yeah, he was super happy, wanting me to carry him, wanting me to like take his arm, and wanted to show me football while I ate soup, and wanted to kiss me. Like, he was super happy. And then yeah, eventually why do I touch my nose so much? Fuck. And then eventually the grandmother and I went to Ricky's school to pick him up. And then when he saw me, he wasn't happy, and I was like really tilted, because I was obviously happy to see him. And then he the first thing he asks me is like, "Where's my grandmother?" And I was like, "Fuck you, what the fuck, dog? Like, you haven't seen me in a month, really?" But then after walking with her for a bit, he walked up to me and he's like, "We run," because he loves running home from school. I was like, "Oh, okay then. Like, I'm still cool, I guess." And then yeah, we ran, and then got home, and then I asked them. This is like, whenever people ask me like, oh, is it hard communicating in China when there's like a language barrier? You know, like you can't speak English. You can't speak Chinese. They can't speak English. Is that difficult? It's like the language is not the problem. It's the communication, like the cultural differences. And I guess maybe a bit the language, but I don't think so. Like I asked the mum, do you want me to give Ricky and you guys your presents before dinner or after? And then she goes, can do. And I'm just like, can do what? But whenever I get an answer like that, I just choose to interpret it the way I want to. So I was like, okay, that means I can give them the presents now. So yeah, I had presents for everyone. My mum had bought so much stuff. She'd been like super nice. What do I say? Yeah, Ricky got so many presents and he was very, very happy. The aunties got presents. The mum, the dad got like a care package with like Danish stuff. The baby got a present. Like, yeah, they were very, very happy. They filmed it, and then during dinner they watched the video like 20 times on their phone. They were like constantly watching it. They were like really happy. They were like, oh look, like they were super happy. And again, smiling the whole time. Also, we had like a really good reunion dinner. We had like so much food on the table. Everyone was chilling and happy. And the parents also, they told me thank you many times. I was like, yeah, sure, it's whatever. Like, they were really happy to have me back, which was awesome. Like, such a big, like, that's what I've said about China too. Like, if you come here, you have to have a good agency and good family, otherwise your life will suck, basically. Like, you can sort of say fuck the agency, fuck the family, and just, like, focus on having fun in your free time, but then your work still sucks, which will drain you and make you feel like shit, you know? So, yeah, I'm really happy. And then, yeah, we had dinner. The nanny had bought Sprite for me. And then, oh my god, this is really weird. There was red wine, which I drank. I was like, okay. Oh, there was also different food from Maoming and Yunnan province. And then, yeah. Wait, I'm just trying to read it. Also, they put the video on WeChat and were like, oh, he's home. Like, we were very happy. So they were very happy. But, oh, this was the weirdest thing. So the dad, we're drinking red wine. And then the dad pours Sprite in his red wine. I'm like, what are you doing? Then he asks the uncle, and the uncle says, sure. And then he asks me, I'm like, okay, I guess. I'm going in on this meme. So then we were drinking red wine with Sprite. Which since then I asked my teacher, and she said that's normal to do in China. And then I also asked some friends, and they said it was a cocktail, or like, that was a normal thing to do, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Like, maybe they're confused. Like, what I saw was not normal. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah. And then after dinner, we built the Lego toy that he'd gotten. And then mostly just relaxing and chilling. And then we spent a little time on homework. But yeah, mostly just relaxing and chilling. And then at 9, he went to bed. And the mum had made some, like, cake. It was like jelly stuff. And that tasted pretty good. And yeah, then I went to my room and chilled and was super tired. So that was the 12th of April, the first day back from China. And it was an awesome day. I was really happy. I was supposed to stay in Hong Kong for the day because it would be my last day in Hong Kong. Because, you know, I'm not going back there for like years or whatever. I was supposed to meet up with a friend in Hong Kong, but he was busy. So then I just opted, because I had the visa, so I could leave when I wanted to. So I just opted to leave as soon as possible and hang out with friends and, you know, pick Ricky up from school and have fun, you know? But yeah, that was the 12th of April. Alright, now we have the 13th of April, the Friday. This is going to be a long video, like I said, and I'm going to go to bed late, like I said, and it's really fucking awful. Like, fuck me, but I can't wait any longer with filming it. It's like, it's already really bad. I'm one day behind. So yeah. Anyway, April 13th. Woke up at 6:30, not a fun feeling. And then I had breakfast with tons of different stuff, potato, porridge, fruit, and more. And then I took Ricky to school, and then I headed to Grand Theatre to meet my French friend. And there were these cool alleyways I wanted to photograph, that's why I went there. Or we went there, sorry. And took photos of them, and it was like a chill area. And then we headed to the KK 100, which I've already gone to and taken photos at the top. And we tried to get in, but there was a guy at the door now, and he was like, you can't. And we're like, well, fuck. And, sorry. And then, yeah, that sucked. I think it was because I had my camera like out, whereas last time I just went in with a backpack. But I don't know. Also, maybe the fact we're two people and not just one guy. I don't know. Also, last time I don't even know if there was like a security thing. I think I just walked in, to be honest. So I'm not sure. I have to try again. I want to go there at night and get like a night view, but oh well. And then we headed to a park near Grand Theatre, and it was really really big, and it was really really beautiful. Like it was really big, and there was all these people doing like this weird dancing, and it wasn't square dancing, which is normal. It was like Indian stuff or something. They were all old and nice, and they didn't mind us like filming and hanging out and being obnoxious. And then after, like some of them walked by us, and we asked them to take like a photo of us because we were like, yeah, we're doing a thing. Walked around the park, and there was also these old people like playing a flute and some other instrument that I don't know what is. And then they were also really nice. We sat and watched them for a while play, and we were like, oh, it's very good. And they were like, yeah, very happy. Like, they were very happy. And took more pictures around the park and chilled. And then we went to Link City to meet everyone else to have lunch. Had lunch at a Japanese restaurant right after coming back, which it was not good, to be honest. Not because, like, just because it was udon, which udon isn't that good, to be honest. And then it was bad udon. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too happy. But yeah, hanging out with the others, and also I had bubble tea again, so it was really nice. And then everyone left except one of my friends, my Dutch friend, and then, yeah, we hung out and chatted for a bit, and yeah. Then I got home, chilled, picked up Ricky from school with the grandmother and the baby, and he's walking with us. And then he cried because I wouldn't carry him. I'm like, no, you're walking, like, fuck you. And he had a cry. I was like, good luck with that one. Like, good luck. Crying to me, that's a bold move. Like, it doesn't work. And yeah, we picked him up, and then we went to the apartment complex to play. And I basically had to watch the baby run around and make sure he didn't do anything dumb. And Ricky just did his own thing. And I think the grandmother watched him, maybe. And yeah, we got home, we played Legos. And he was actually really good here, Ricky. We, like, pretended to make food and cook and stuff, and it was fun. Like, no trouble, which is nice when that happens. And then we had dinner, the parents came home from work, and then they sat and ate dinner with us, and it was chill. The grandmother wanted me to eat the Mao Ming chicken, and I had a piece without bones, so it was actually good, because some of it's, like, real sketch. And then Ricky threw food at me, and I've never been so calm about telling someone to fuck off. Like, he threw food at me, and I'm just like, yeah, you don't want to do that. And his mum was watching, but she was, like, on the phone, so she was too busy to, like, kill him. And I was like, yeah. Fuck me. And then after dinner we played a bunch in parents' room behind like their curtains. We pretended to like have a house. And then what's it called? Oh no, this is really sad. This is like a really sad story. Okay, I'll tell it. This was really sad. We were playing like mother and baby, where I'm like the baby I guess and he's the mother, and like eating Lego pretending it's food. And then at one point he slaps me on the cheek. And I can tell if someone's being a dick, you know, like if it's malicious or whatever. So he slaps me on the cheek, and I'm just like, the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And then I didn't really get angry because I could tell it was like weird. I was like, what do you think you're doing? And then he goes, and I said to him like, no beating. And he's like, oh no, it's not beating. And then he explains to me. He goes like this very slowly. He's like, not beating. And I think he explained to me I was naughty or something. But he explained very calmly that he wasn't beating me. He was just doing this slow, and I didn't even know how to react or like what to say to him because I can't even get angry. I was like, because to him that's normal because yeah, in this family they do that. So I was kind of like, you know, like he didn't do it in a malicious way, but like to me physical. I don't know. I was like really weirded out. I was like, how do I react? Like what the fuck? Because to him he was like, no, I didn't. And then I was like, so that was really weird. But yeah. Alright, so then we played around the house and built his puzzle and chilled around, and yeah, he was pretty good throughout the day. The only thing that upset me was him throwing food because it was like uncalled for. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I think he actually did it like he was pretending to be a baby or something, and I was just like, the fuck, like don't. And then, oh, this was funny. He asked me for Danish candy because I'd given him some the previous day. And I was like, no. Then he starts whinging and having, like, a cry. And I'm like, fuck off, that doesn't work. You won't get candy if you cry. Then he stopped, and then later on in the day, he goes, can I have candy? I'm like, no. Then he goes, He looks at me, he's like, did I cry? And I'm like, no. He's like, what the fuck? So to him, he was like, because I didn't cry, I get candy. I'm like, nah, that's not how it works. If you cry, you definitely don't get candy. But getting candy is like a maybe. But just because you don't cry, like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? He was like, no crying equals candy. I'm like, no, that's not how it works, buddy. But sure. 9 p.m. I went and bought my second bubble tea for the day because, have to get back on the bubble tea diet. Oh, I've stopped drinking soda, Pepsi, for like a month, I've decided. But it hasn't gone so well, which I'm just going to say that here. I'll get into it in the other days, but I can just say it now. I decided when I got back from Japan I wouldn't drink soda because I've had so much, and it's like, it's bad. Also, there's like no Pepsi Max, so it's actually calories. But yeah, so I personally haven't bought any Pepsi since I came back on the 12th. So that's like 2 weeks ago. The problem, no, it can only be 1 week ago because it's literally been a week since I got back, right? How does stuff work? Yes, it's only been a week, not 2. I don't know. But, yeah, I haven't bought a Pepsi, but the thing is, like, the other day, the grandmothers, like, bought me a Pepsi. And then today, also, the dad was like, the dad at dinner told he saw me pouring water, and then he told the nanny, he was like, oh, Emil likes bread and Pepsi, buy him Pepsi. So it's like, I don't even buy it myself, but yeah. But as long as I drink it in moderation instead of going out and buying it all the time when I'm outside, But I have stopped buying Pepsi, and that's big life improvement, we'll say. Alright? But yeah, I have tons of Danish candy. I've eaten like a decent chunk, but I have a bunch of Danish candy. Also, I've started drinking this. This is like green tea. And it's really good. It costs actually the same as Pepsi. It's like 3.5 kwai. And yeah, it's good as fuck. My friend says it tastes like iced tea, but without like sugar. But I don't drink iced tea, so I wouldn't know. But it tastes it's chill. I don't know how to explain it. It tastes like good. All right, but yeah. I got home, and got home. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. So I talked to my dad, and then I wrote like all my expenses from Japan, and like did like boring stuff you have to do. All right, so April 14th. Got woken up at 8 a.m. Had a pretty good breakfast. The mum had made some like egg thingy that tasted pretty good, and then I chilled around with the baby. He constantly takes my hand now, and like he's like, all right, we're going here. I'm like, okay, I guess we are. And he'll take me to the TV or to the football or whatever he wants me to do. I'm like, okay, sure. And then Ricky was in trouble because he'd thrown like stuff off the apartment ledge, like he'd thrown like nuts. If they hit someone from the 31st floor, I'm pretty sure they die. So he was in a lot of trouble. And then around 11 p.m. we went to the playground, and he played, and we just sat around and watched him for like 2 or 3 hours, which was quite boring, but at least I didn't have to go in the playpen, like it was this indoor playground where you climb stuff. So I just sat around, I chilled. And then, what else? Got home around 3 p.m. Also, because usually my time off is from lunch to like 3 p.m., but now we went out from lunch to 3 p.m. So, yeah. Got home around 3 p.m. Already had like a basic lunch, so at the shopping center. So I just had a little more food, but not like a real lunch. And then Ricky went to bed, so I had like some free time. And yeah, I chilled for a bit and listened. My teacher sent me a bunch of Chinese music because I asked her before going to Japan. She sent me like a very long, extensive list. So I've been going through that for like the past week. So yeah, I went through that, and then I was tired, so I had to sleep, and then I woke up at 5 p.m., which sucked. And then we went outside for a bit and played in the apartment complex, and he was slightly obnoxious. He wanted to go into the learning center, which I never let him go in there because he's always an idiot. But the nanny was like, oh, I'll let him. I was like, fuck. And then dinner was meh, and then after dinner we played, did homework, chilled. And I got super mad at him because, like, I got super mad at Ricky because he asked for, like, this yellow Danish candy. And I was like, he asked for Danish candy. I was like, okay. I take the bag. He says, I want a yellow one. I'm like, okay. I give him a yellow one, put it back. Then he starts crying. It's not the right yellow. And I was like, bitch, like, there's not a right yellow. If you don't want this one, then don't eat it. Give it to me and fuck off. Like, beggars can't be choosers, you know? And then he has a cry, and I'm like, alright. I was legit offering him. I was like, I can take the candy off your hands, and then you just get 0, you know? Has a cry. Then 5 minutes later, I see him with 2 pieces, and the grandmother's giving him one. I'm like, nice. You're spoiling him and ruining him and being, like, an awful influence. That's nice. You're ruining, like, everything I'm building up. Like, the reason he cries around the grandmother and the mother is because it works. The reason he doesn't cry around me is because it doesn't work. Funny how that works, you know? Or doesn't, in this case, you know? So yeah, she's like really, really nice to me and cool. But having her around the house is awful, because every time he just runs off to her, he just yells, "Paw, paw," and then runs off. And he gets whatever he wants, and he cries. So it's fucking annoying. But yeah, at 9 p.m. I read books for him, and it was time for bed, but then he refused to sleep with me. He wanted to sleep with the grandmother, and I was like, fuck, okay then. And he had a cry as well. And then she made me read more books than I'd already done. I was like, okay. And then at 9:05 he ran to her and he was like, I want to read with you. And I was like, fuck this. My thing ends at 9 p.m. But I usually obviously stay till he falls asleep. But if he doesn't want to and he's like running away and wanting to talk to the grandmother, then like I'm done. So I just walked out and had a shower. And then I went off to bed where I wrote like a Japan guide for my friends. Because I have 4 different friends that are going to Japan, so yeah. And then I chatted with a Danish friend. So that was the 14th of April. Alright, we're going to power through these. The 15th of April, I got to sleep in, which means sleeping until 9 p.m. Got up, had breakfast, decent amount of stuff on the table, including rice porridge. And then I played with the baby because Ricky was running around not playing and just going in his room with his grandmother constantly, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I don't think anything noteworthy really happened. We just chilled around the house until lunch. Then we had like a decent lunch with a variety of vegetables, and mostly it was eating with the grandmother, but the parents joined at one point, but I was already done. I think they just mostly slept in. I didn't see them till 12. And then after lunch, I went and bought milk tea, and then on the way to the gate, I met this American guy who apparently lives here, and he was like, oh, like, I need a teacher. And I was like, I can't, I'm busy. But yeah. And he had a Chinese wife, and he lived in China and stuff for 5 years. So that's pretty cool. I went and bought my milk tea from the milk tea house, and it was like super sugary from the milk tea guy, who now knows me. He knows exactly what I'm going to say when I walk in there, you know? So I don't even need to know how to order it anymore. I could forget tomorrow, and he would know what's up. I did sneeze. Alright, there you go. Double sneeze, alright. It had dropped 10 degrees. It went from 30 to 20 in one day, and it was raining so much. And the roof in my room used to leak. I think I fixed it now, but it used to leak. So like there was water like here, in my bed, literally in my bed, and then on the side as well. So it was fucking awful. It was also dangerous because I didn't know where I could put my phone, camera, hard drives, or anything for that matter, without it being like fucking wet at one point. And then the day before, they had seen all my mosquito bites because there were a lot. So they bought a you know the princess tent that I talked about in Mao Ming that I thought was a princess tent that's actually for keeping out mosquitoes? Yeah, I got one of those now. You can't really see it because I'm way too close to it. But yeah, I have a mosquito net now, so I don't get as many bites, I suppose. What's it called? Am I in focus? Maybe? What's it called? Oh, the nanny asked me, can you build the mosquito net? And I was like, yes. Then I opened the box and I saw how many like metal poles there were and stuff, and I was like, I cannot build a mosquito net. Like, so, yeah. Then, because there's the English speaking auntie and the Chinese speaking auntie. The Chinese one came into my room, talked Chinese. I understood exactly 0 of what was going on. Then she started changing my bed sheets. I was like, okay, but I understood nothing. And then she went to take the bed sheet off the bed, and there's this crack between where the bed is and where the wall is. I don't know if you can see it, right? And that's the crack that I use, because I don't really sit on this chair because it's shit, so I usually just bring my laptop in my bed, and then I use that crack for storing drinks and stuff, because you don't want to have a drink in the bed, it'll fall over or whatever. So I store drinks and stuff there. And then I usually, because I'm bad, I usually forget to take them out. So when she's like taking the bed sheet off, she just finds like 2 milk teas, a Pepsi, and a Snickers bar, like empty wrapper, and she's just like, she looks back and she like laughs at me. I'm just like, oh, I'm an idiot, and she's like, yes. But yeah, so that was embarrassing, kind of. There are so many situations where I'm just like, I also almost got run over when we were outside with the parents, like on the playground. There was like a bike that was way too close to me, and I was like, fuck, this is annoying. So then I stepped backwards, and the reason the bike was so close to me was because there was a car behind me. So yeah, I managed to embarrass myself and almost like do something dumb like really often. But yeah, the nanny set up this like fairy tale princess tent while I took care of the baby. Then 3 p.m. we went with the grandmother to the shopping center, had a donut, then we headed inside. And yeah, I don't know, nothing too interesting in the shopping center. So many people and so chaotic because it was a Sunday arvo. We bought random shit. The nanny bought me Pepsi, which, yeah, I told you, I quit Pepsi, but she bought it for me, so I was like, okay, fuck it. And yeah, super hectic. And then we got out of the supermarket, and the grandmother buys donuts for us again, and then she tells us after dinner. I'm like, okay, sure, because I'm, functioning. And then Ricky has a fucking temper tantrum and starts crying. I'm just like, oh no, I know exactly where this is going. So I instantly take the donuts, I was already holding the grocery bag, because, I have to do something good, right? And then I just walk in front of them with the nanny, and then he can cry to his grandmother all he wants. It was so dumb, like, in that situation, if he did that to me and I was alone with him, I would have just said, like, okay, so you don't want a donut? Like, after dinner? Okay. And I would have just eaten it in front of him to teach him a lesson, because then he would have never done it ever again. But, I can't do that, because then they'll be like, what the fuck? So instead, he cried all the way home. Then when we got home, I instantly took the donuts, put them on top of the fridge, and then went to the toilet. And then when I come back, I see him, like, pillaging the grocery bag, trying to find the donuts. And then the nanny's like, oh, where are they? I'm like, they're on the top of the fridge where he can't reach them. Then, like, 2 minutes pass by, and the grandmother gives me a donut and him, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I really try to, like, teach, like, not being an idiot, and then she ruins it. Like, he cries, he gets what he wants. He cries, he gets what he wants. Every fucking time, dude. It's so dumb. Like, really. Like, if it was my kid, and they cried because I said they had to, like, getting a donut is a privilege. It's a snack. You're not supposed to have it. You can have dinner, Getting a donut's a privilege, so you should just be happy you get one in the first place. If you then cry that you don't get to eat it till after dinner, like, I will eat it in front of you and laugh. I would have laughed so fucking hard while doing it too. Like, I would not have been nice about it. But yeah, he cries and he gets what he wants, and that's why he does it, because it works. Like, it's one of those situations where he can cry and then he gets what he wants, or he can cry and then he doesn't get what he wants. But if he didn't cry, he wouldn't have gotten what he wanted anyway. So it's like a win. Either he wins, or he doesn't win, but he was never going to win anyway, So he can only win, basically. And then we had dinner, which was noodles, rice, vegetables. And then I got asked if I don't like the vegetables because I didn't eat enough. But, like, there's like 10 different things on the table, and maybe I eat like 5 of them. I can't get around everything, And half of the vegetables I'd already had for lunch. So it's like fuck, I eat everything, And then, yeah, Ricky and I watched a Steve Irwin crocodile documentary because we were talking about crocodiles. So that was fun. That's actually interesting. And then, yeah, I walked around the apartment with the baby, holding his hand. And he wanted me to watch the TV show. He's pretty cute. But also, like, very attention-seeking. Like, constantly grabbing my hand, like, trying to show me stuff. I'm like, yes, I know. Then we were reading books in his bed, and then he finished, and he had like chocolate hands from eating chocolate. No, like really bad chocolate hands. I was like, all right. I took his hand. I was like, let's go to wash them. And then before I managed to get him out of the bed, he just does this on all of the bed sheet, like with his hands. So it looks like a fucking, you know those like bear tracks where you have like bare feet or whatever, paws or whatever? It looks like that, but with chocolate on his bed sheet. And I didn't even know what to say. I just facepalmed. I was like, Jesus Christ, like why? And then I just like repeated myself. I was like, Ricky, come on. I repeated that until the grandmother's attention, like she saw it because she was sitting on the bed but not paying attention. And then when she saw it, she was like, oh my God, why? And I was like, fuck yeah, I know. But yeah. Went to my room and listened to more of the Chinese music my teacher had recommended. And then I looked through Japan footage, looking at time lapses. I started editing the Hong Kong video again, which yeah, it's like it'll exist sometime. I uploaded a DDR clip on YouTube from Japan, which you can go watch if you haven't. It's alright. Wrote my diary, ate bacon chips, and then Ricky came into my room like 10 times and he wouldn't leave. So that happened. But yeah, that was the 15th of April. Alright, so 16th of April. I woke up at 6:30, it was the Monday, and I almost was dying. I got like 5 hours of sleep because, okay, so what's happened is, other than wasting time today, like I almost don't waste time. It sucks that I'm not making these videos and like grinding out, but like the reason is honestly I'm grinding on other areas. Like I told you guys I think a while ago that my priorities are basically be the best au pair I can be, like do my job. That's why I'm here, you know? That's most important. Second most important is being social and hanging out with friends, because honestly, I want to remember my time in China. Like 10 years from now, I'm going to remember the people, I'm going to remember hanging out with people. You know, you don't want to think back and go like, oh, I should have spent less time in my room editing videos and more time with my friends. So yeah, being social and hanging out with friends is priority like 2. That's like also today, like I hang out, like I try to be as social as possible, right? And then priority 3 is basically making videos, I think. So yeah, I'm basically just busy on other areas. It's not that I'm like wasting my time or doing nothing with it. And yeah, but I only got 5 hours of sleep because I had to do stuff till late o'clock, and then I couldn't fall asleep also. But yeah, I met up with my friend. We were supposed to meet at Shanghai Bay to do this Ferris wheel thing, but we ended up meeting just at like around the agency. We chatted about stuff. I hadn't seen her in a month, and apparently she got kicked from her family. So yeah, I'm not the only one who's been kicked. You know, it actually happens to more than just me. But yeah, we've chilled for a while, drank bubble tea, and then at 12 we met the others at the agency and we just chilled and talked. And then around 3 p.m. people started heading home. And it was good to see people again because I saw everyone there. Because when I was at the agency the other time, it was not everyone. And then at around 4 p.m. I went and picked up Ricky. I got home at 4 and then I picked him up at 4:40. And yeah, so I just chilled a bit before picking him up. Picked him up and the weather was fucking awful now. It'd gone from 30 degrees, like I said, to 17, and it was raining a lot, and like it was so fucking garbage that day. And then we got home and Ricky had a cry over not being given some food, and I was like, fucking hell, like stop. And then yeah, we didn't do too much interesting in terms of playing, mostly just fucking around and chilling. Like I don't even know what to say with playing, because we do play and he's obviously entertained and happy, but it's just I don't know what we do. We just sort of fuck around. Some of it is like play fighting. Some of it is like walking around pretending to like have kitchen or something. Like we make food and I don't know. And yeah, the baby takes my hand, drags me to places, and yeah. But that's cute, but it gets old. Because it's like he's needy. It's like, fuck, I need to eat my dinner, or like, yeah. Yeah, dinner and then just more playing around the house. And yeah, I was lifting Ricky around, and then the baby, he keeps biting me now, which is also really annoying. Like when he bites me, I'm like, fuck off. And then whenever he does something naughty, like biting me or climbing something he's not supposed to, I hold his arm to like stop him. I'm like, you can't do that. And then he starts crying, and I can't let go when he starts crying, because that's how you teach someone that crying gets you what you want. So then I'm like, I hold his arm for a bit longer, then I let go, and then he instantly stops crying and like smiles, and then he goes back to whatever naughty thing he was doing, and I'm like, fuck off, like please. But yeah. And then Ricky, for whatever reason, agreed. My mum bought like an English book, which is basically like a English exercise book, like basically what you would do for homework, but it's not homework. And he agreed to do a page in it, and I was like, okay, sure. So we did that, and it was somewhat fun and chill. Like he did the numbers and stuff, and like there was stuff he said he couldn't do, but I was like, yes, you can. And then yeah, he did that. And I read some books for him. I wanted to put him to bed, but then he wanted to sleep with his grandmother again. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, less work for me. I don't like, meh. Went to my room, and the roof was still leaking. And the worst thing was I'd forgotten about it, because I'd been given a bucket to put where it leaked, because it leaks on my bed, but I'd forgotten. So like my blanket was all wet, and like half of the bed was wet. So I had to sleep on like half of the side, and then like my blanket was sort of like damp and wet, and I was like, oh fuck this. And then the mum asked me on WeChat, she's like, is the roof still leaking? I'm like, yes, very much. But yeah. I did my diary, I did my budgeting, like writing all this stuff down, and I talked to my dad for a bit. And yeah, that's basically what happened. Alright, now we have the 17th of April. I woke up at 7, tired again, because again I didn't get much sleep. Probably like 5 hours again, because I went to bed too late, because again I was doing shit. It's not like for fun. And then I couldn't sleep because there's a fucking bucket in my bed, which I was 100% sure I would knock over while sleeping. And my bed was wet, but yeah, not optimal. Then I went to the agency to have class again. It was the first class in like forever, with, yeah, me and 2 other people. And our teacher, obviously. And yeah, fun class. Our teacher told us a lot about like her university and stuff. It's interesting whenever you get into those conversations where you just like learn about China, because it's the sort, a lot of it's like, a lot of like Chinese pop culture and stuff. You can't really, you have to just like talk to a Chinese person, which none of them know English, so that's a bit hard. So that's always interesting. Yeah, I like learning random shit about China. It's cool. Also the nanny, it's really helpful the nanny knows English, because I always just ask her like stuff. So I can get a bit of information. Sometimes she doesn't, like, she gives me weird answers though. But yeah, it's cool. After class we headed to the dumpling place, which is the first time I've had that in a month, you know. I had the usual thing and it was good. And then we just chilled in Coco Park, and we went to my friend's place. He lives in like the city center, like so good. He could like take the best photos, and he lives in a good place. I'm jealous. And we took his kid to school, and I took some photos, and then we didn't go to the rooftop, which I really wanted to, but yeah. Went home at like 4, and then I was hoping I could get a nap because I was so tired, but I couldn't fall asleep. So then I just chilled a bit and listened for more Chinese music, and then I found some decent stuff. I really like, I don't know, searching through, obviously she had given me the music, so there wasn't much searching, but just searching for music in general kind of sucks, because you go through so much, and I can very quickly hear if I like a song or not. It doesn't take much. But yeah, it was pretty good. Whatever. When I was going home, I was told I didn't need to pick him up, Ricky, from school, because he had allergies and was going to the hospital, so I was like, okay. At 6 p.m. I came down for dinner, and Ricky had come home, and then we ate. Or I ate, pretty much, and then, yeah, we played, and he was busy, like, playing kitchen behind the thing, and, like, I don't know, he was doing his own thing, and I was playing with the baby, who kept biting me, and then kept getting angry and crying because I didn't let him knock stuff over. I was like, okay. And then Ricky and I started watching Tarzan, which we still need to finish, I guess, and he enjoyed that. And then we did some work in, like, the exercise book that my mum got Ricky, and he was, yeah, again, he's willing to do it, which is impressive, even though it isn't homework. And then, yeah, he was pretty good at it, and I think the dad saw it too and was pretty happy. And then the nanny was like, oh, you need to finish the homework with your meal, and Ricky's like, it's not homework, and I look at her, I'm like, yes, it's not homework, like, fuck. If you tell him it's homework, he's not going to want to, like, no one wants to do homework, you know? Don't tell him it's homework, then it's not fun anymore. But yeah, the dad was happy. And then I think he told Ricky something like, appreciate your brother or something, because then Ricky like hugged me and was like, I love you, and then the dad said stuff, and I was like, okay, sure. I could understand like enough to know that I feel like the dad was like, tell him you're happy. But yeah, gave him a big hug, and He's cute when he's not naughty, to be honest. He's like really nice when he's not. He's really nice when he's not nice. Um, and then I also told the dad that like Ricky had been really good that day because like I fucking tell the parents so often that he's being an idiot and he's like being naughty and awful. I think it's like important to not only give him praise but also tell the parents like today he was actually really good. You know, he did this. He was nice. Because otherwise, like it's dumb when you only tell the naughty stuff. You have to, do both. So yeah, I told him I was like, yeah, it's good. Oh, and I also told him personally. I was like, I'm really happy you did the book. Like, thanks, you're doing good. And yeah. And then he wanted to read with his dad and not me. And then it's like I always have to confirm because like his opinion doesn't really necessarily mean that it's a fact. So like after confirming that the dad was going to read with him, I was like, okay. And then I left at 8:30. And yeah, I went to my room and edited a photo for Instagram, listened to the Chinese music again because it took a while to get through. There was so much. I found a lot of good music. And then I updated my diary, budget, and talked to people. It seems like I waste so much time before I go to bed, but really, I'm not even procrastinating. Some of the YouTube videos I watch, I feel like I have to, but most of it is actually doing like these kind of like chores, like updating my diary so I can film these videos because otherwise I forget everything I've done. Updating like my budget, like what I spend money on, and then also doing like other like small tasks. Everything takes time, you know? Like really. Like at this point it's 11 p.m. and I finished at 9 p.m. and I haven't done anything like really. So, time flies. Okay, 18th of March, which was the Wednesday. I woke up, took Ricky to school, and then the teacher was like, I told Mother he doesn't have to go to school. And I was like, clearly I don't know that. But apparently the nanny had tried calling me while we were walking to school, but obviously I don't see that because we're walking to school. Because yeah, apparently he was sick, which I obviously said that he came home, like I didn't pick him up the day previously. He has allergies, so like his legs are all red. I don't know, he's allergic to flowers apparently. But yeah, took him home, and then I couldn't tell like if he's sick home from school, am I supposed to play with him? Because that's obviously more work hours, like a ton. And also I just don't want to, and I have like free time. I was like, yeah. So I couldn't tell. Also, I was really tired because my plan was basically on the Wednesday either wake up and film a YouTube video, which would have been the productive good thing, or sleep. And I chose sleep because I haven't slept this entire week. I haven't slept really because I'm so busy. It's gotten to the point now where I just sleep less. That's the only way I can do it. That's the only way I can be social, hang out with friends, and still get stuff done. So now I just don't sleep, which is not good long term, but whatever. But yeah, I slept. So I got home, and yeah, I took him back, and then I was like, okay. I judged that the parents didn't care that I left. So then I went to sleep in my room till 10 when the nannies were like, email, Jiafan, and I was like, what the fuck? So then we had lunch at 10 a.m., which made no sense. I was like, the fuck are you doing? But yeah, that was a thing apparently. What else? Also, the parents were home, and it's like they weren't working, so it didn't really matter that I didn't have to be with him because there were people to take care of him. But yeah, I don't know why we had lunch so early. And then I think relatively soon his parents and him left for the hospital, so that could be the reason. But like I don't fucking know. And then I spent the rest of the day finishing the Chinese music. I finished listening to all of it. Again, it took a while, and then I watched some YouTube, and then I edited the Hong Kong video. I've actually put a fair few hours into it. Like, I can actually just show you. Do you guys give a shit about video editing? Probably not. Okay. So I have this. Oh, okay. I don't have the hard drive plugged in, so I can't actually show you because I have to plug that in again. But can I? Maybe I have the layer here. I can show. You can see it here. It's like I'm 6 minutes into the video. It's probably going to be 10 minutes long. And you have a bunch of parts. You can't see all of it, but it is like getting towards the end. I still have a lot of clips to go through, but it shouldn't be that time consuming. And then I have to fix the brightness and contrast on um, some of the clips. So it's not done, but like it's further than before I came back from Japan, you know? And that's also like, I don't know, I hate that it takes so long on videos, but it's because I'm sacrificing videos for being social with friends, which I don't regret doing. Um, what else? Yeah, basically I just don't procrastinate. It's just I'm spending time with friends instead. And also, I'm actually like being really good with it too, because there are friends that after lunch they'll be like, "Oh, I want to go home and nap and stuff," and I don't even do that. I stick around with my like the friends who will stick around, basically as late as I can until I have to pick up Ricky and then like stuff. So I basically just lose sleep, lose editing time. I'm hanging out with friends and then I'm working, and then I spend the rest of the time doing like the shit I need to do. But yeah. Um. Also, I had another milk tea, so that was good. Had a lot, and then I played with the baby for a bit while the nannies. Wait, what? While the nannies set up the mosquito net, didn't they do that the other day? Oh no, that was because they set up my mosquito net. This time they were setting up their one in their room because they're also getting mosquito bites. Okay, that makes. I was so lost for a sec. Okay, and oh, we were in the playpen and I was just lying down because I'm chilling. Then he decided to get up on my stomach and stand up, which he weighs like a bit. He's like a fat baby too. And then he's standing up on my stomach. I'm like, okay, so like. Then he starts jumping around on my stomach and like dancing. I'm like, oh, so this is what a Thai massage. I think it's a Thai massage, right? Where they stand on you. I'm like, oh, that's what a Thai massage feels like. And then at one point he loses his like balance and he just falls on my stomach. I'm just like, oh. But yeah, it's fun stuff, you know. And then yeah, we had dinner, and then Ricky was asleep. He came home from the hospital and then slept through dinner. And then he woke up like after dinner and he was like super frustrated and didn't want to eat and he didn't really want to talk to me. But I think he's also like feeling sick. I don't know if the allergies spread to his head. Like maybe if you like have marks on your body and you feel sick, maybe he also like feels like feverish or I don't know. I don't know how he feels. I'm not him. But I can imagine he doesn't feel good. So I don't really mind. Like I try to talk to him like every 15 minutes or like something and see like if he wants to talk. And if he doesn't, it's like, you know, he's tired and sick. And also like I hate people when I wake up. Like when I wake up from taking a nap, I'm in a really angry mood. I'm always tired and like I'm more like tired when I wake up from the nap than when I before. Like yeah. So I don't blame it for not wanting to talk, you know. But eventually he did, and then he told me he'd had chocolate ice cream and he was very happy, and I was like, oh nice. And then he finished dinner and we didn't play too much because it was late. He got his bike and then we went outside the apartment complex and rode that for a bit. He didn't even ride it though. He played with some girls that had like a turtle, because that's like a thing. They just have a fucking small turtle. I was like, okay. And then I don't know how, but he made one of them cry. I didn't really see it. Or at least she started crying and he was around her. So then I told him, I was like, you're going to apologize now. Because last time, I've already told this story in another vlog, but like, he did some stupid shit and then he refused to apologize and he was like being really annoying. So this time I was like, you're apologizing. And then he's like, okay. And then he walked up to her and he was like, oh, Dobertu. And he said sorry and I was like, thank you. And I was super happy because like last time was so fucking annoying. I also told the parents that. I was like, yeah. But I was so happy this time. So what's it called? I told him too. I was like, I'm super happy you apologized. Thank you very much. Like thank you so much. And then I like gave him a hug and I was like, really, like good job. Because again, it's like, if I'm gonna fucking like insult him and call him an idiot every time he's an idiot, I need to, you know, be happy when he's actually being good. So I told him, I was like, that's great. Like thank you so much. And then after he played with some boys that wanted to grab the like hair on my legs and like grab my legs and shit, and they were annoying as fuck. And the dad was also telling them like stop, like you're annoying him, and I was like yes you are, fuck. But yeah. Then we got back at 8:15 and he showered. He got out and I wanted to read with him again, but he wanted to read with his dad again. So then yeah, I finished at like 8:30, 8:40, and then I went to my room, and then I did an English assignment for someone, because I used to do those for money for people, but I haven't done it in like a long time because I've been busy. But now it's like I come back from Japan and I could use money, I guess. I don't know. So I did that for someone because it's like it's free money. It didn't take too long. And then yeah, chilled, talked to people. Didn't have very much free time or like time, basically. And that brings us to, I want to say today, but I'm filming this video late because I'm an idiot. But it brings us to the 19th of April, which is, the last day of the weekly recap. Today. We'll pretend I'm filming this video on the right day. I'm not though. But woke up at 8:30, and this was, I changed, usually my free day is on Wednesday, which is the reason I didn't film yesterday is because it was my free day and I was busy hanging out with friends. Usually my free day is on the Wednesday, but I changed it to Thursday because pretty much no one is free Wednesday, and I want to hang out with my friends. So I changed it to Thursday, and yeah. So woke up at 8:30 and I headed to Taoyuan, I think how you say it, to hang out with all my friends. We biked to these ghetto streets, which I haven't ridden a bike in like 3 years. I haven't done it since we were in Japan with my friends and we had rented bikes for a day. And since before that time, I haven't done it in like 5 years. So I don't ride bikes. I hate it. Actually, okay, this time it was kind of chill because it was like hot weather. We were riding very slow and it was just chill. So that time was okay. But generally speaking, I hate bikes. But we headed to these really old ghetto Chinese streets. But it was also like a hipster area because it had all these painted murals. Is that how you say it? Murals? Murals? I'm dumb. Anyway. Murals. Fuck, that's annoying. Now I'm annoyed. But yeah, we headed there, and there was also this huge park we went to, which me and one of my friends was like, alright, we'll go there while the others chilled. And then we got like lost in the park because all the lakes and everything looked the same, and it was really, really big. So suddenly we looked on the map and we were like on the other side, and we're like, oh shit. But yeah, we went for lunch. I had these Chinese burgers, similar to the ones I had in Xi'an. So if you've watched those videos, you know what they look like. And then we had tea from this place where all the drinks had really weird names. Not like mango tea with love. That's kind of normal, but there were ones that were worse that I can't remember. That was like black night something, or like winter melon something. Like really weird drinks. And they were like, they also tasted weird. They were weird, but yeah. And then we went around these streets, and it was like a residential area, so we were like kind of bothering people, but like, I don't know, we were chilling. There was all these like people having like meat on the street. It was very Chinese. It's what you would expect China to look like. Because when I walk around in the city, Shenzhen is like very nice and modern. It's not what you think. Like people have the wrong idea of China necessarily. It's like, it depends on what you think and what you could like think. Like, I don't know. Because like I can go to the countryside and it'll look like super fucking ghetto and run down, and people will look like different and stuff. But if you're actually in like a normal like modern city, then no, you know. So it just depends on where you are in China. But then yeah, you can find that in Shenzhen as well if you go out a bit. But yeah, then we headed away from that place at like 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we headed to Shanghai Bay, which is where the Ferris wheel was that I wanted to go to the other day with my friend, where I didn't. We headed there to take photos, and we met our teacher and one of my other friends there. But the girls took a bunch of photos. I didn't, because it was like blue hour. It was between night and like after sunset. But like it was like kind of dark and shitty. Also, there was no sunset because it was really cloudy and we arrived too late. So the weather conditions were just not good for photos. I'm going to go back there one day and like film a video or take photos, but not that day. It was not good. But yeah, they took a bunch of photos, I guess. And then it was this abandoned Ferris wheel that doesn't work anymore, by the way. So we took photos there, and then we climbed to the top of the Ferris wheel. And there was an okay view. It was like not great, but it was okay. And we were there till like 8 p.m. and then we headed to this like place and had dinner. We had noodles, and they were so-so. They weren't great. They were like okay. And then, this is funny. Well, not really. We're eating dinner, and then my friend across from me says, there's a mouse. And I was like, the fuck? And then look, and sure enough, there is a mouse running around in the restaurant, and then it just runs across the restaurant, and we're like, nice. Gotta love that hygiene. So yeah, that was kind of sketchy, but yeah. And then I left at 9:20, arrived home at 10:20 because I live so far away. My teacher, when I told her how far away I live, she literally laughed at me, and I was like, fuck me. But yeah. Got home at like 10:20, super tired. And then when I got home, I saw Ricky had eaten my candy. My candy was on the table, and I was like, that's weird, I don't think I put it there. And then the bag was open, and I was like, I don't think I'll leave it open. And then there was candy on the table, like pieces. I was like, fucking hell. So he'd been in my Danish candy, and I was pretty mad about that. I told the parents, and they're like, yeah, we'll talk to him. But, yep, that was the 19th of April, and that was my week. A week and a half. Half the week before going to Japan, and my first week back from Japan. And I can't tell. Have I been... Cause, fuck, now it's all messed up, because I've been... No, I guess I've been here for 9 months now, right? Because 1st of August till 1st of... What month is it? It's March or May? It's April. I just said that. Sorry, I'm lost in the source. 1st of August to 1st of April. So I've been here for 9 months now. Even though I've been away for some of it. But yeah, I've been here for 9 months now. I'm so fucking happy to be back. Like, even in Japan, Japan was awesome. The food was great. The arcades were great. The culture, like the arcade culture, the food, the people, like everything was great in Japan, but I still miss China. I miss the lifestyle of just like fucking around with friends, drinking bubble tea, having fun, just having not a care in the world, you know? So I'm so happy to be back. And yeah. Anyway, I hope before next week's weekly recap, the Hong Kong video will be out. But yeah, if you've sat through this whole thing, it's been very long. I appreciate you, love you, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.